Hello everyone, this is Victor. This is another Schoology video, and what I'm going to be doing is walking you through how to edit the roles and system settings so that you can define permissions for each group of users at your school. Now this is contingent on using a SIS integration. So my last video walked you through how to set up PowerSchool. This is going to walk you through how to change the views that students and parents can have within that setup. So what you're going to do first is you're going to click on the Edit Users button. What that's going to do is it's going to pull up the map of all of our users and roles and permissions. So this is our user base. It will show passwords if they have not been changed. You can import email addresses to add access codes and things of that nature. So as soon as a new teacher is added into our system, they are automatically generated a PowerSchool username and password. And so once that PowerSchool username and password is created, they're filtered into in the next hour into Schoology and given a unique username and password. The beauty of that is that it's very hands-off. The sync between the two will just do those things for us. Now what I want to walk you through though is this roles and permissions access. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the roles settings. So once we're in the roles, you can see that we have a number of roles that we've created for our system. So we've got student groups for each of our various areas and a parent group, but we've also got dorm specialists, teachers, counselors, principals, and administrators. You can clone any of those groups, add more if you would like. That is entirely up to you. What is going to matter though is in the permissions that you set for each role. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at our SIS admin versus our teacher, which is here, versus our high school students and our elementary school students, just to kind of show you what the difference is right now. So once I select those, I go ahead and hit go to give access. So as you can see, we're going through and we are actually changing what students have permission to within the user access groups. So we've allowed most people to create and update their own profiles. We are blocking blog posts though for most people and blog comments. So Schoology has a built-in blog function so students can create their own blog if they would like. We have also disabled a lot of the messaging functionality just because we want to make sure that students are communicating via email with teachers. We also block networking for students so they can't use it to send private chats and messages to other students. When we look at parent access, you're going to see some of the information that you can modify and change there as well. Accessing resources, we have disabled for students as well just because we don't want them to have access to public tests and things like that if teachers are going to be using them. Then we get into courses. You're going to see that most of our users aren't actually able to create courses in the system, and the reason for that is because we have the sync set up, that we're not asking teachers to create their own courses and add their own students. Now the thing that we actually modify for each grade is this student grade and mastery attendance settings. So we use PowerSchool still for attendance, so we've disabled that. We have also disabled the received grades category for a number of groups just to ensure that our students are focusing on the mastery or standards-based grades instead. Now, we've also disabled joining courses based on access codes, and the reason why is we use Schoology to diagnose any problems that we have in PowerSchool. So if a student can't access the courses they need in Schoology, that means they're actually not enrolled in the correct courses within PowerSchool. So we need to fix it in our school information system before we fix it in Schoology. And then there's all kinds of management options that you can give to students or parents if you would like. Same with groups. We've blocked student-created groups, mostly just so that we can supervise them so that a teacher can create them. But then we give the students access to those groups if a teacher creates them. So basically that enforces the rule that teachers have to sponsor any group, club, or activity here on campus. Now school updates is another thing that you can do. So our administrators and principals have the ability to post updates to an entire school. It's kind of like a school bulletin. And teachers actually are the only ones, teachers, principals, and administrators are the only ones that can participate in the discussions about those school updates. Teachers have that right, whereas we're not giving it to students and parents at this time. Then you've got some just other general and administrative settings. Feel free to look through and make sure you're familiar with what each group has access to. And if you want to change those apps and make some setting changes, feel free to do that if you would like. Just remember to save your permission changes when you are done. If you have any questions about Schoology settings or how to access and change permissions for each student group, feel free to contact me directly or leave a comment on this video. Thanks for tuning in.